Friends, welcome back to this channel. I will share with you tips on how to get the most popular Bluetooth earpiece used by business professionals today. Now, it's not the AirPod. AirPod's a very good device. I have those, but I wouldn't recommend it for a business professional when you have to talk and listen at the same time. And that very popular Bluetooth earpiece is none other than the Plantronics Voyager 5200. That's what that looks like. There you go. I'm going to show you how to customize it on the app. And given that it was one of our most popular videos on YouTube, I'm going to show you how to use it with the updated app that's called PolyLens. The old app was called the Plantronics Hub. So we're updating this video just for you so you can use the new PolyLens app along with the Plantronics Voyager UC. A couple of things to note. First, make sure you have the PolyLens app on your mobile phone. Number two, make sure your mobile phone is charged to do some of these things, especially if you're going to update it and do a firmware update. Number three, this PolyLens app is also available on the PC. So if you want to use a PC, I would highly recommend you use the Bluetooth dongle with it. There it is. And right now it's not connected to anything, and we're going to show you how to do that. So right here, I've got the Poly 5200. That's what it looks like. In the old days, this is what it looked like. It used to say PLT. This is the new one. This is the older model. They're exactly identical in every way, except for the logo has changed from Plantronics to Poly. And soon it'll say Poly by HP because HP purchased Plantronics. All right. So the first thing we've got to do, if we're going to use the mobile app, and in this case, I'm going to use the mobile app for demonstration purposes, we want to pair the Bluetooth on this device to the lens. Now, I've already got it. I've already done it once. And as you can see below, it's currently disconnected. Last known battery is 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. I've got Bluetooth running already on my mobile phone, and it should connect. And if you haven't paired the Bluetooth earpiece with your mobile phone, you'll want to do that first before you start using this. If you don't know, one of the cool things about the PolyLens app is that it also has a manual that can explain, and you can't really see it too well here. Oh, the white on the mobile is kind of blinding. So on the lens, you have many different things you could do, as well as the user manual. Once we go in there, this is the main menu and the sub menus. You've got several things. And we're going to start from the top. And I might jump around a little bit, but we're going to start right off from top. For the most folks that are using this, some of the features at the top are some of the most frequently used. So now that we've got our headset connected, let's start right from here. So if you want caller ID to come through in your earpiece, and that's in the Plantronics, in the Voyager 5200, this can allow you to hear the name of the person if you've got it turned on. As long as that contact is in your contact list and you've got it written in there or saved, it will do that. It's a really cool feature. I like it. Now, a couple of things here as we move through mute. Some people like to know that they're on mute, and this is helpful if you have, let's say maybe you're on conference calls quite a bit and you forget that you've muted yourself. You won't know unless you get a reminder or unless you're keeping track in your brain. And if you're multitasking, that may kind of leave you. So you can customize that so it can be a time-based reminder, an audible reminder, an on-screen reminder, or both, an on-screen and audible. So any of those options you could just customize it to your liking. I've got mine set to on-screen and audible. Now, mute on and off alerts. This could go either way. I've heard some people, they find it annoying. They don't like the voice. Some people like it. I happen to like the voice, but if you don't, you can choose to use the voice or you can use tone. So it's like a stutter tone, like a notification, like a beep. Otherwise, you can get a double tone, a beep, beep, and that will allow you to know if you've been muted or unmuted. Okay. Now, if you have a second incoming call, and if you're one of those busy professionals, what you want to do here, if you do not want it to do anything, go ahead and click ignore. Nothing else will happen. Now, you can also have your Plantronics ring once or ring continuously. Again, this is something that everybody kind of has their own preference. I have it to ring once, and that's it. And I'm done with that. Now, at this point, for a lot of you, because of the mute, and that tends to be one of the most asked things, you may be good to go. You may be like said, I've got everything cool, copacetic. But if you want to find out what happens if you turn off the HD, stick around, because there's a way to get a little bit more juice while you're using the 5200. And that seems to be from a lot of the feedback that comes through. How can I get more juice out of the battery and the talk time? So there's a couple of things that are going to give you back some more juice. Language, if you're in a different country right now, I've got it set to English in the US. There's other languages that it will support. This is one of the most favorite things for me. I love the voice prompts. For me, it helps knowing that the Bluetooth headset is connected. Now, what happens with Bluetooth, it can be tricky. It doesn't matter if you use the Plantronics or Jabra or any Bluetooth. Sometimes you don't know that you're connected to another device or that it is connected. It's just, a lot of things happen. Your brain forgets and you start running in 10 different directions. So one of the things that can happen is that the prompts, it hears the voice alert answering call when you're answering an incoming call via the headset. And so you would be able to do that if you turn that on, and you would hear that. And you have a button here that allows you to answer the call. And it has some other sensors that can work to answer the call. But we'll get to that in a moment. The other thing, you can also hear the word answer or ignore. So the call's coming in. John Doe is calling you. Then a second voice comes in and tells you answer or ignore. That's pretty cool. And it comes right into the earpiece. You'll hear it here. So you'll have to be wearing it, obviously, to hear that prompt. Activate audio tone. Ooh, I like this one. When you're on Zoom, one of the most frustrating things you could do, whether you're talking to only one person or a room full of virtual Zoomies, is when you're on any headset or even without a headset, you're on mute and you don't even know it, or vice versa. You think you're muted, but you're not. This helps avoid some of those issues, because unlike a lot of devices that you may use when you're using Zoom, this will notify you via a tone when you're connected. So now, if I've got my mobile phone and I'm using the Zoom app on my mobile phone, I'd be putting this on my head. Just put it on my head like if I was going to use it. All right. I've got this on my head. The moment I launch my Zoom app, well, actually, I will show you. Let's do that. Zoom. When the app launches and if I'm on a call, if I'm on a meeting, if I'm in a meeting, it will start the meeting. If I'm starting the meeting, the moment the meeting starts, I hear a tone that tells me I'm connected. It's a toot, toot, toot. And now I don't even have to guess. And I absolutely love that. I love it, love it, love it, because I've used a lot of Bluetooth headsets over the years. And like I said, sometimes there's some hiccups using Bluetooth and you don't know if the other side can hear you or not. But the moment that app launches and you have those notifications turned on, the tone notifications turned on that we were just looking at, it will give you that toot, toot, toot. And that way, oh, I'm connected to the app and the people on the other side are going to be able to hear me. Also, I'm sure, let's bring back our app. You want to make sure that this, as you see right now, it's not muted. Obviously, if it's a strike through like this, you are going to be muted. But as long as you're unmuted, your voice will go right through. You've got that notification tone telling you that you're connected to that app, not just the phone, but the app. Because sometimes, again, Bluetooth can be tricky. One app doesn't work, the one will. TikTok is notorious. If you've ever used TikTok for listening on a Bluetooth device, you understand what I'm talking about. But the moment it connects, boop, 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 and you know that that app is now sending and receiving audio to the Bluetooth headset. All right, so let's get out of Zoom. It's really one of my favorite features of this particular headset. Okay, let's get back. Here we go. For those that want to update your device, this is key. This next piece is key, because without this, you will encounter bugs from time to time. You know, when these devices ship, when these Bluetooth earpieces ship, and in my case, I've got the charging case with it. So they'll ship and they could sit in a warehouse for about 6 months, sometimes longer than that. And in 6 months, if we're talking dog years, 6 months is an eternity when it comes to tech. So by the time you get this earpiece out of the box in your hands or in the hands of your teammates, if you're ordering a bunch of them, Mac may have the iOS firmware on Mac may have updated a few times. Same for Windows. Could be the same for Android and iOS. And those updates sometimes don't play nice with the Bluetooth feature for things that are connected to it. And it can disrupt the flow or the connectivity or the stability. This happens all the time, more so on the PC environment. So if you're in a PC environment, you may experience more of these kind of bugs just because there's a huge amount of updates that are constantly happening. And there may be a browser update and you're running Zoom on the browser or Microsoft Teams or any of these other apps. And without the latest update on this Bluetooth, you may experience problems. So I highly advise the first thing you do if you just gotten this device, and if you haven't updated, let's keep moving forward. So this is very simple, easy to use. If you have an update, it will tell you here, but it will also tell you that right here when you're in the main menu that you have an update ready. Now, it says the device is up to date. I don't need to run an update right now, but if I needed to, I'd just go over here in the 3 dots. I'd go over to the sprocket wheel, and I would see right in here, I'd have an update waiting for me. It takes about 10 to 30 minutes, depending on your connectivity, your Wi-Fi, or you can also update it via cell phone if you want to use the T-Mobile, Verizon, whoever you happen to be using. And then it just happens automatically. It's that easy. Okay, let's move on. We've got a couple of things here with regard to sounds and ringtones. If we wanted to adjust it, this is completely customizable, your preference. When you are connected via mobile phone, there's a certain ringtone that will come through. If you're using the dongle, which is what I've got right here, and you're connecting via PC, it can give you a different kind of notification, as well as when you're increasing the volume on the device, it will also give you a different notification. So let's just say you want to be notified every time you're clicking up or clicking down, or you only want to know when you're at the max or the minimum. You could set that as well. It's pretty straightforward. Now, the PC, I will remind you, if you're using the PC, go ahead and use that dongle. You will save yourself a ton of issues. Many computers do not support very good two-way Bluetooth audio. You may be able to get AirPods to work, and it sounds beautiful listening to your favorite podcast or streaming music. But a lot of times when people go to use that in communications mode, where you're talking and listening, whether it's Zoom, Teams, or otherwise, some of those devices and that what's called native Bluetooth connectivity. So you're not using a dongle, you're natively connecting direct from the earpiece to the laptop or the PC. it doesn't always work. Just because the way it is. There is, let me see if I can, there is a capability called Native Bluetooth Connect. Microsoft Teams is rolling that out, and on laptops that run the EVO for stands for Evo, the run chips that have EVO built in, you will have an improved native Bluetooth capability. Let me say that again. Intel chips inside of laptops that have the EVO capability. The Intel Corporation has a certification program. I'm going to take this little sip of water. Has a certification program that they have certified several Bluetooth devices as well as other devices, other peripherals that can connect to it natively without the issues you've seen in other laptops. There aren't a ton of devices certified for that program. Most of those that are have Bluetooth 5.1 and above. I believe that's the cutoff. If you've got 5.2, you're in the clear. Obviously, if you've got 5.3, this device does not have 5.2 or 5.3. So that's kind of, you won't be able to use it for that. That's why I recommend the dongle. Otherwise, if you've got one of the newer devices, and I happen to have it here, I was playing around with it earlier. That's what it looks like. This is the Plantronics. I was messing around with it. The Plantronics folks have several models that are Evo certified, and that's what you're looking for. And that would include your Voyager 4310. It would include the Focus 2. Both of those headsets will have that Evo compatibility built in, as well as the certification required for you to use it in native mode. All right, let's move on. Here we get to the ability to do a few things that can add more battery time, as well as you can set this so that you receive HD voice, otherwise known as wideband audio. I happen to love wideband audio because I love the rich sound that it provides when I'm listening to somebody or listening to my favorite podcasts or streaming. I love this audio. Now, because I use the case, the charging case, getting 5 hours of talk time is never an issue because I'm not far from somewhere where I can just pop it in the case or have this case charged. So I've got another full charge for it if I go beyond the 5 hours. So that's a non-issue for me. That's why I have HD voice. Now, if you're somebody that says, "Hey, Rolando, I'm a heavy user, hours at a time. I don't care for the HD voice," just go ahead and turn that off. You're going to get a little bit more juice out of the battery. Next, let's say you're not doing any streaming audio where you do not need to stream music. You don't listen to podcasts with it. It's strictly conversation. You're strictly business and it's only for phone calls. If that's you, go ahead and turn streaming audio off. That will also save you battery talk time. So, or I should say, it will add more capacity back, so you have a longer talk time when it comes to using this battery on the 5200. For me, I like them both on, but that's me. But if you're not in that camp, this is the way to do it. Sensors. These are the cheat codes to making life easier for you. Way easier. So with sensors, we have a few things that are, let's call them automations and things that can happen on the fly so you don't have to press buttons. So the first one is wearing sensor. You want to turn this on and it allows individual sensors that are in here. So see, it's what happens. I turned them all off. None of those sensors are going to be activated. But if I want to go ahead and customize it, I got to go ahead and turn that on. All right. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up on this one. Auto pause music. So if you're listening to, I do a lot of YouTube videos. I like to listen to it. What you could do is have this on so that when you take the headset, let's say I have the headset or the earpiece on my ear, and I'm listening to, Spotify or something on YouTube, and I just want to take it off. I'm done listening for maybe I'm going to the bathroom or whatever. I just take it off my ear, put it down, and the moment I put it down, the music is paused. I don't even have to fish around or look for the app or none of that. Just put it down. The mobile device will understand that you are pausing it, and then when I put it back on my ear, it will resume and hit essentially play, and it will play the audio that I was listening to previously. Love that. Love that. Now, here's another one. Let's say I don't happen to have this on my head at the moment, and I've got it here. I'm not using it. I want, when I do the same action of putting it on my ear, I want it to answer. Now, that's where this second one, auto answer, it does that. It triggers the auto answering sensor that's built in. So when I put it on my ear, it just automatically answers that call. Super cool. Again, one of those things you don't have to scramble for your phone. You just do it, answers. It's one less thing to worry about. Okay, next one. We have this one is active call audio. It says select the action you would like the headset to take when you remove it from your head during an active call. Let's say I'm talking to Johnny, 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 bleep, 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 boop, boop, beep, 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 boop, boop. And if I put it down, it's not going to hang up the call. Now watch this. There's a couple of things I can tell it to do, and this really depends on how you use it. When you're on a call, if you put it down, you can tell it to do nothing. That's my preference because I do a bunch of stuff. I may take it off. I'm trying something else on. Do nothing. Or transfer audio to the mobile phone. Some people like to, sometimes, maybe put the call and they want to grab the heads. They want to grab the mobile and put it on their ear or use the speaker phone. That'd be the other reason. And if you're that type of person, transfer audio to mobile phone would be your option. And you could see that's what happened, right? Or you can mute the microphone when you put it down. Maybe you got to say something. Maybe you have colleagues that you work next to and you don't want to hit the mute on the earpiece. Putting it down will put it on mute. And so that's where this mute microphone when you are on a call. For me, I like do nothing because I want the flexibility to do whatever I want without being limited to an action. But if you perform some of these things over and over again, you will find this makes your life way easier. Okay. And that covers most of what we've got here. Now, if you happen to use Amazon Alexa, you can enable the integration with Amazon Alexa and the earpiece, the Voyager 5200. So if you're not, don't turn it on. But if you do, it makes another thing to just make life easier from one device. And a failsafe at the end here. If you, sometimes crap happens. You got all these things, all kinds of bugs. Maybe somebody messed something up, and the best thing to do is just start over from a clean instance, a clean slate. That's where you reset the device, and all the features go back to factory default, just exactly the way it is shipped, and you start all over again, and you customize everything. Sometimes that happens. Maybe you get a different phone. It may not have the poly lens app. Sometimes people press 2 or 3 buttons at the same time. It may have triggered something in the settings, and that kind of sometimes throws people off. The best way to get back on course, reset device, and then you're back to factory default. So that's the poly lens app in a nutshell. And for me, it's still one of the best devices on the market today. It was developed many years ago, but for a lot of you that are business professionals and you want something that'll work with your computer and your mobile, it does the job. and it plays nice with business apps. So your Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet. It will work across all of those business communications app. Obviously, it will work on your phone. It will work with things like Ring Central and other communications app. It will block out background noise. And if you're on Amazon right now watching this video, let me see. Let's go back to the carousel for a moment. I'm just going to highlight. Oh, it is highlighted. It is highlighted. And one bonus tip that I want to throw in there. If you are, there it is. If you plan on using your computer quite a bit, let's bring this back over here. If you plan on using your computer quite heavily, what I recommend let's see. Let's turn that off. If you're using the computer quite heavily, I recommend this doohickey. We call it the blue beacon. The blue beacon allows your dongle to have better range and a better signal. And quite often we get folks that call and say, hey, I'm getting intermittent connectivity on my computer, or I can only go 5 feet. Well, part of that is because the signal from the dongle may be very weak due to being obstructed by, could be other devices, could be interference from other Bluetooth signals in the area, in your environment, and that will cause some havoc. So what I recommend is this. This is a very easy to use, no IT required. It doesn't require any drivers to work. You plug it into your computer, you plug the dongle on one end, you plug in the other end to your computer or laptop, and now you can stick this. Let's see if I can, let me bring it over here. So if I've got my laptop and maybe I've got a screen, I usually have it on the side here. And now I'm going to get better line of sight from my dongle. And I'm going to be able to walk around further, and I'm going to get a further distance because the signal on this is now, when you think about how it works, the signal on a dongle goes in these two directions, from left to right, so laterally. But if I've got it turned this way, which is how most folks have it in their laptop, the signal actually goes in a north and south direction, essentially up and down. You're not getting any real range or distance. So turning the dongle this way, now you're able to go laterally with this signal, and you're able to increase the line of sight. You're able to get a better signal, and therefore you're able to increase the range on your 5200 device. All right. Cool. So I want to thank you for checking out this video. But before you go, let me remind you, if you order on Amazon, we have support available free to our customers. And now it's easier than ever to get support from us because it's available right within the Amazon mobile app, as well as curated videos like the 5200 just for you. And if you want to talk to human, some people do and some people don't. We have a phone number there where you can reach us, and one of our product experts will get in touch with you, or you can chat with them and they can help you out. You need troubleshooting, product support, maybe some teammates that bought this have some issues, or any of our products that we sell on Amazon. So you can purchase from Global Teck with confidence, knowing that you'll get the support you need and the peace of mind, so that your IT team doesn't get frustrated with you because you can't figure stuff out. And that's okay. We've been doing this long enough to know that stuff happens, and that's why we're here. So order with peace of mind on Amazon, knowing that whatever you order, our experts are available Monday through Friday to help you out. by just a click of a button now. So thank you, team, for that. Now, and if you have a question about a particular headset, could be a webcam, anything that we sell, just about anything that's IT related, we can answer for you. Drop us a line on our socials, depending on what channel you're on, and our team will take a look at it and see if we can make that video happen. Now, I've got a bunch of other videos. So if you're following us online, go ahead and do that. Click the like and subscribe button, all that good stuff. And I'm going to put some videos right up here. So if you're watching us on YouTube or one of the other channels, there'll be a video right up here where you can watch more videos on reviews or other devices. And I'll see you in those videos. Have a good day.